Hi, my name is Joshua Ains, and I'll be presenting part one of a two-part presentation. Our team is called Everyone Else, and the project we'll be working on is a game called Dungeon Crawler. The first part of this presentation, I will go over the team members, team working agreement, program development environment, and a project overview. While the second part will go over features of the game in detail, including user stories. The team members of Everyone Else include Scrum Master Josh, product owners Michael and Mary, Git admin Cameron, and members Makdum, John, and Jeonjin. Each sprint will be 2 weeks. Our team will meet on Mondays and Wednesdays. We will have a meeting via Google Hangout on the first and second Mondays of the sprint. The first Wednesday will also include a Google Hangout meeting at 7:30 p.m., but the second Wednesday of the sprint, we will meet at 7:30 physically at UCO. The physical meeting will ensure that we can work out any remaining issues in person before the code freezes that night at midnight. Each member of the team has agreed upon a set of values and standards. These include being on time and attentive during meetings, strive to provide an equal contribution to the project, allow others to speak and give equal speaking time to the others, provide feedback and be open to feedback, and to work through roadblocks. But if a roadblock cannot be solved, then provide this to the Scrum Master. We will be programming our game in Java. The IDE that we will use is NetBeans 8.2 with JDK 8 Update 161. Our source control will be through GitHub using forks and branches. As for our GitHub practices, we will have a main repository. The main repository will be Cameron's repo since he is the Git admin. Each member will need to fork off of that repo so that they have their own copy to work with. When a member has completed their changes, they will make a pull request to merge their forked repo into the main repo. The pull request will be reviewed by Cameron, and if approved, it will then be merged. When a member wants to get the most recent version from the main repo, they will need to pull it into their repo manually. This visual diagram will roughly show how this process works. On the left, you'll notice the arrows are going from the main repository to each of the forked repos. This is just showing that a copy of the main repo is made for each member. Towards the middle right part of the page, the arrows are going from the dev branch in each of the forked repos to the dev branch in the main repo. This is showing the process of merging forked repo branches into main repo via pull request. At the top right part of the page, the arrow is going from the dev branch in the main repo to the master branch in the main repo. And this is going to happen at the end of the sprint to establish a managed version of each member's code. This will give us a combined version to fall back on if we need to after we start the next sprint. The game itself will consist of a gamer, collectibles, monsters, and terrains. The gamer will race against the clock in each level, collecting items to move on to the next level. The monsters in the game are ultimately the gamer's enemies, and the gamer wants to avoid them at all costs, if they want to beat the level, of course. We will go more into depth into these game objects in the next part of the presentation.